Our next speaker is somebody that I think most of you might know. Some of you might know. If you go to Tech Alley Vegas, you'll know him because he does a bunch of meetups out in Vegas, right, Josh?
That is true.
There you go. Right. Josh Stacy. Everybody give Josh a round of applause. I'm going to get him all set up while he introduces himself to you because I think you'll probably do a better job than I will. And Josh is going to be speaking about the future of law in a post-AI world. So, Milan, something you want to listen to as well, right? Okay, here, Josh. Round of applause for Josh. Thank you, Josh. I'll get you set up.
So I have slides. I got all ready for them. But while we're getting those up, I have a question. So I love presenting. That's not a question. My question is, how many of you have seen me present before? Show of hands. All right. Now we're going to do a little experiment. How many of you are excited to see me again? There we go. There we go. In case you don't know, I love jokes. I have my slides. I'm so excited about my slides. They weren't ready today. I gave Lorraine a hard time. She said, can you have them to me by tomorrow? And I said, I'm still working on them. And so today at 3 p.m. I sent them over to her. I like to tell myself I like supporting people putting on events. And I see a blank screen. That seems like progress. Oh, hey. All right, fun fact. I am on LinkedIn a lot. And I enjoy engaging in vigorous debate. And I also pretty much automatically connect with anyone in the Las Vegas area. So if you'd like to connect with me, please do. And so I will, let's go for the next slide. So about me, we'll go a line at a time. There's a lot of tipping. Okay, so over 25 years means I'm old. All right, what else we got? I've been a pro se litigant. That means I've been in litigation without an attorney. I've been in it with an attorney as well. I've spent like $300,000 on them. Support our local attorneys. All right, not an attorney though. Next. Former state senate candidate, 28% of the vote, $1,500. People liked me. And then I'm an angry dad, and we'll get into that. All right, so that's me. Next. Why does AI and legal matter? Okay, next. The original vision of the Founding Fathers. All right. Our Founding Fathers believed inequality under the law was possible. Next. They believed it in so much they were willing to fight a war over it. Next. They won. I like that one a lot. All right. So the reality, that was just aspirational, we got excited, is that today's legal system makes equality under the law nearly impossible. And it's for economic reasons. Next. Okay, then language models came in. And then what happened next? It's the most powerful tool in the world that's ever been created for leveling the playing field. It was like a 0-day event in some ways, just wild. Yep. So we're going to do a deep dive into family law. The original presentation I gave at the Las Vegas AI meetup with Tim May, which I highly recommend. It was longer. I wanted an hour. Lorraine wanted me to do a half hour, so I'm doing a half hour. You're welcome. Next. This is my favorite definition. You're welcome to quote it and quote me in saying it. Family law is the industrialized exploitation of human suffering. Not small business law. Those are good attorneys. We need them.
That's true, though.
He agrees. He agrees. He's one of them, and he agrees. Okay, so the human cost for men. Now, we're going to pause for a moment on the tapper here. I have to warn you, there's one line on this I wasn't sure if I should add, which means I always keep it. We're going to guess which one it is, and it's not that big of a deal. On the balance, I hope you realize I'm a guy that loves the community, all this good stuff. Okay, human cost for men. Family courts often strip fathers of time with their children. Next. Financial burdens are imposed almost without regard for ability to pay. That ends up being a trap a lot of folks get stuck in. Next. The isolation and hopelessness are common outcomes, not the exception. And then the last line here. Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after divorce than women. I would like the number to be 0, just to be clear. Both sides, 0. That's the number I'm behind. So sometimes I get a little heat. They say, well, women too, and like, I agree, but that statistic tells a concerning story. All right, next. All right, then there's children. We'll keep next. All right, so children get the whiplash between the households and they feel all this pressure. That's not good. Next, court-ordered arrangements often ignore that kids actually do need their dads in their lives, and a bunch of other things. All right, next. High conflict cases don't just harm children at the time. It can go on for years or even their lifetime. I mean, the fact of the matter is we're in a room right now of about 100 people, and most of us have had our lives impacted by this. Next. Okay. They've got incentives to lie. Why is this happening? I'm a systems engineer. Why is the bad thing happening? All right. A system that rewards dishonesty. All right, next. False allegations can shift custody, increase payouts. I know, but if you lie, you can get a little more. All right, next. Kids end up being a bargaining chip. No one likes that. No one wants that. The kids don't like that. They deserve better. All right. Okay, and attorneys help make all of that possible, but not business attorneys. They're great. Next. No, you gotta go forward. Sometimes this is a slide that wouldn't have been in the version I would have sent Lorraine earlier. So if perverse incentives create the problem, then the only sane response is to create a positive incentive to solve the problem. All right, next. Now here's a QR code, and I'm not gonna block it, and we're gonna stick on this for just a little bit because this is a live website. Now I will say we're probably 48 hours away from it actually being fully functional, but we've got all of everything up here. I'd like to introduce smartmarriagetools.com. Now what's happened here is, to my mind, this could be one of the most disruptive things in the family law space, because currently there's really only one customized prenup builder in the market, and do you want to guess who owns it? Is it attorneys? Yes, it's attorneys. It's part of the same system. And so this will be the only one that actually says, we're gonna try to keep the attorneys out of this. Largely because we don't need them. And it's not like, we don't need them. Screw you, Dad, I won't eat my vegetables. It's in 1927, the Federal Arbitration Act was passed. And what happened was the courts acknowledging that they are bottlenecked in being able to resolve things created legally enforcing mechanics and case law that make it possible for, and this is the radical innovation. We see a happy couple here. The trick to avoid a high conflict divorce is when you're still looking at each other like that, is to agree that if it does go south, you're not gonna make a hobby out of terrorizing each other. And everyone says they won't do that, yet the court is full of these cases for some reason. All right, next. Meet smartmarriagetools.com. That, okay. Why this is a big deal? Why is it a big deal? Goes back to attorneys, in case of preview.
Sorry, not being a good clicker.
No worries. So only 15% of marriages get a prenup. And you might think that sounds low. A lot of people realize there's risks. Why wouldn't they do that? Because it's $5,000 to $10,000. That's a lot of money. Half this country doesn't have $500 for an emergency. Yes, it's important, but that's a lot of money. So we're at $499, and we're on a promo we're doing with Pearl Davis. Is that right? I've been surprised by this one. I've paid for 10 ads on it. I'm very excited about it. But consistently when I ask this question, I hear no. It's fine. Show of hands if anybody knows who Pearl Davis is. Okay, so we've got 2, 3, 4, okay. So anyway, she's got 2 million followers on YouTube, pretty good engagement. If I sell a few of them, that'd be exciting. And basically what we're doing, and since this is a entrepreneurship focused event, the only other prenup tool in the market is really only focusing on the 15% of people that are already getting prenups. They have a better workflow for it. So 85% of the market, no one's really even going after. If we went all the way down to $100, which we're not gonna do, it's it's a $1 gazillion. It's so much money by just, yeah, all right, next. Okay, so they profit off of human suffering, and we profit off of strong families and lasting marriages. All right. That's me. The future's bright. I love Las Vegas. I love technology. That's what I have.
Thank you, Josh. I have some questions, because clearly
You have questions?
Tech Alley, right?
Yeah.
And tell us a bit more about yourself, because I know you have a thing where you just build products like constantly. And so, give people some context.
Yeah, so I've been playing with computers for a while, and I look at it starting motherboard up. And very early on, I learned about a time saver called copy-paste. And that was pretty cool. And it really changed the way I looked at a lot of things. And then fast forward, I look at business processes. So I had one company doing pretty good numbers, high margins, lots of customers, people were happy, it was easy to maintain, sort of a fairy tale business. I was like, awesome, I built it, everything will be fine and wonderful. That's how these stories always go. And then it blew up, and I was like, oh man, this is terrible. But I'd learned a lot about the mechanics of the different aspects of businesses, and I said, why don't I try to launch some of them in parallel? And so to cut to the chase, I'm trying to do 1,000 projects over 10 years. I'm in the high 200s, 7 of them have made money, and I'm really excited about this one.
So just so everyone understands why we're talking about marriages and divorces and prenups tonight, it's because Josh is building AI-driven products to solve problems, basically, right? Yeah,
that's 100% true. So we'll go into the software a bit. Show of hands, who knows what a fork is? Okay, you guys use them to eat. Now there's going to be the second question. That seems like a gimme. Who knows what a software fork is? Less hands. Okay. So one of the cool things in software is you do like a copy-paste, and then you start editing the other one, and you've got another chain of code that you can customize in a different direction. So if you have like a rideshare delivery app you make, for example, you could take the pieces of that and then make like a food delivery app, because a lot of it's basically the same stuff. You're just reskinning it. And so the sort of method to the madness on the financial model for my company, Sean, I feel the struggle of the bootstrapper. Here's a trick I've done, and it sounds like you're doing some of too, is you do some consulting and you do some gig work. So we've been doing some contracting, making software for local businesses to help them optimize some of their processes, and then about a third of the software is all open source, which means everybody can use it, there's no license. About a third of it is their own custom IP, it's stuff they know, it's their customer list, all of that. And then about a third is what I call our box of tricks, which is the tools that we use to make things easier. Like AI is very popular right now. So we've got a nice stack that makes it really easy for us to go back and forth between APIs and manipulate and manage and change and transform all of that stuff a bunch of different ways and tie it into basically anything. So at this point, pretty much whatever industry we're in, we already walk in with a box of Legos that we can use to try to solve a lot of very common problems. And then I try to commercialize them so I can keep better margins.
Does anybody have any questions about Josh, about
AI? Oh, it's smartmarriagetools.com.
Smartmarriagetools.com.
Yeah, heard it here first. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, okay.
Can you adopt what you're doing to cohabitation agreements and non-marital arrangements?
That is a fantastic question, and the answer is yes. One of the things that because the sort of like epiphany moment or like crack in the universe for me building things was in every computing framework I knew about up until a few years ago, you had to really understand everything that you had as an output and make a machine that would make that output. What is like against the laws of physics now is I can input like a pet clause. Like we've got open text on the form builder, so if you want to work out pet custody, it's a little niche, but the AI will do a really good job with that, because what it's really trying to do is make sure that the two people are coming to a common understanding of what they're trying to say. So you guys want to agree to Fluffy gets 2 weeks and then they get 2 weeks, or however you want to do it. It really wraps around that. And in fact, on the process, on the technology, we actually have the intake. A lot of it is more just about what are your values and what do you think, and then we apply it across the terms in the prenup. So it's not like which of these clauses do you like, which is how we would have had to do it. Now it's which of these, like, you know, do you want to have the thing generally be a 50-50 down the middle? Do you want to be at a, you know, you can really put a lot of yourself into it, and then it makes a document. And then there's 3 revisions back and forth. So this way we make sure everybody's able to participate, everybody's engaging, everybody's documenting what they're agreeing to. And that helps with enforceability. Of course, a lot of people are worried about something being enforceable. A lot of the reason why enforceability doesn't happen around a few pain points. One of them is disclosure. Did you disclose everything? So like we have addendums baked into it. So whenever you make your agreement, you can add the addendums and then disclose, I have, this in the checking account, this car, whatever it is.
Any other questions?
Oh.
Adam, you first.
Could you see this used in business purposes as well? Like MSAs are kind of contractual agreement between two business agreements?
Yeah, and that sort of ties into a question that Sean had. Sort of the OpenAI has a device, so are you niching down? The answer is I'm always niching down. So since we're already 95 to 99% of the way there, it basically takes one paying customer and it covers the cost of the engineering to customize it. And then after that, it's quote unquote free money, is what I tell myself.
I'm not a smart man, but I pretend to be sometimes. And I'm an average AI user like ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever. I don't get. My thoughts about AI is that it's like a college intern that you still have to check their work. How do I know if I use your tool over there that it's giving me exactly what I need and I don't have to go to a lawyer to make sure that it's not falling through?
Great question.
Right, so there's sort of the engineering on it, and then there's sort of the human psychology. Fact of the matter is 85% of the market can't afford one, they're not going to an attorney. So the option is have nothing or have something that's better than fighting with ChatGPT and not knowing anything about it. That said, I think ours are better. Not just better than what you would get with an attorney, but better than, not just better than what you would get with ChatGPT or just working on it on your own, but in a lot of ways, it's very well thought out and encourages a dynamic back and forth. And that point, people are spending, if you're spending $500 an hour on an attorney, you don't want to keep doing revisions over things that seem trivial at the time. So there's a lot of unexpressed opinion that should have gone into a contract that didn't. And so the best way I would say it is, it's not an apples to apples. It's like it's an apple and a tangelo or something. They're both a breakfast fruit. You can have, analogies are kind of funny. But fundamentally, what we're doing is we're documenting what everybody's agreeing to. And it's less about, is this the right clause? And it's more about, is this what you both agreed to? And so a lot of times when you're looking at the enforceability, there's an unconscionability portion of it. So one of the things that we're doing on ours is we basically are, the way it's engineered right now is it's a 4-pass. So the first pass is we take all of the information from the user, we say a bunch of stuff that we have, and then it gives us something. And we go, okay, this is neat. And they say, now look at it and look for these things and make sure this is coherent. And then it goes back and forth a few times. And so that's what you would be trying to do with ChatGPT. But we're doing it at a commercial scale on a system to do it 10,000 at a time.
You're doing that, not the end user.
Correct. So that we're a simplified way of looking at it. I think you were an agile guy. Call it middleware if you want. It's fancier than that, but you could call it middleware. And that's roughly where it fits. So it's that way, it's a nice interface. And a part of it too is and I should have mentioned this, so it's a great question, thanks for bringing it up, is Kentucky changed the custody laws a few years ago to a rebuttable presumption of 50-50. And then divorce rates went down by 25%. Now I'm an honest man, or I like to think so I want to point out that the national average went down by 17%, but that's still an 8% delta. So part of it is saying, here's what you might want to agree to, and if you don't do this or go to an attorney, you'll be stuck with whatever the state law is at the time you get divorced in the state that you're at. So you don't even get any input on that. That's just what that is. So attorney this or something else, or whatever the state does. And that's the worst case scenario, and that's where 85% of people get stuck. You're very welcome.
Who is your target audience?
Well, so it's a great question. So my target audience is people who love marriage, right? Because you go ahead. I'm sensing pushback.
Target audience and networks. What saying because
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is I'm going down market quite a bit in terms of ability to pay. And so my thought process is real simple. 15% of people, if prenups are 5 to 10,000 or more, then 15% of the population will buy them. If you go down to my most techno anarchist perspective of doing it for $10, everybody would have it and I would be broke. I can't do that. So that's where we came up with $500. I did a bunch of discussions with people about it across different income demographics. And I notice themes when I do this. So I've done a lot of product launches. And so I love talking to people. Okay, they said it's worth one paycheck is roughly the equation. And the sales line that immediately came to my head was one paycheck to protect the rest. And so I was like, okay, I'm seeing it. Like, that works at a visceral level for at least some people facing this. But like a lot of it's like, prepare for the horrible. And it's like, fine. But like, our process is like, it's really great you're getting married. What do you like about each other? What are you guys agreeing and how are you going to be nice to each other? We want you to stay married for a long time. And so like, the whole format of it is hopefully less like gloomy than a lot of folks are looking. Like, the market's softening up for prenups. Like, people are seeing more and more the need for it. But yeah, to tighten it even more, to give you what I would think is a more bland answer, male is 25 to 40. But anybody, even if it's a partnership agreement, we don't care. We'll help you put the words of what you want to commit to into an agreement. And then maybe Claritative can record the conversation when you're talking about it so we can get really accurate. It's a good audience. That was a throwback.
Yeah. So I had a question. So because this prenup has not been created by an attorney, what are in your mind that you think the potential challenges might be? Like, could it be disputed at a later date, possibly? Because it's not necessarily
Right, so this is a common question. The fact of the matter is, so I just turned 41 and I feel like I'm in more old-timey story time mode now. So this is going to turn into a micro civics lesson. All of the power of the government relies on the people. And I'll explain. People vote for legislators, lawmakers. If Nevada Senate District 6 had liked me a little more than someone else, I might have been one of those. Literally going down to Carson City, helping write the bills that are the actual law. Then voters vote for judges to adjudicate on this and say, this is what the laws are, this is how you apply it. And then juries are involved, and if the jury doesn't like what the judge did or what the law was, they can nullify it and just say, we don't care. And so the primordial truth on contracts is, what did the parties agree to? And so the question of making sure that that conversation gets memorialized, if you look at, right, attorney prenups get punted too, and as unenforceable. So it's not like that's even a guarantee. You can spend 10 grand on it and then it gets, but by doing anything, you're reducing the amount of potential conflict. So that way you don't have to go back and forth, 7 times to hearings and trials to resolve everything. Maybe it's only 2. Who else has any questions, if any? Oh, I see one.
Would you say it's a little hybrid of mini marriage counseling and a prenup? Because you're asking these questions about how are you going to deal with each other in the hard times?
I love this question. So there's a pre-sale and a post-sale product that wrap it up to make it the tools. It's not just the prenup. The offer one that is not live now will be beginning of next year, probably sooner, is an individual assessment actually. And say, who are you and how are you in a relationship? You've been stuck in some discussions. One of the questions we're going to ask is, what do your former partners say about you? What is it that they have to say? And what insights does that provide us? And so what we do is, the plan right now is to sell that for $100. And so then you could also match that up with another with your potential partner and be like, what are you going to get along with, and where are you going to butt heads, and where are you going to like each other? And then when you butt heads, how are you going to do this? And we say, if you add an addendum to this agreement that we're putting together, then now you have your prenup. And then the add-on sale for the recurring revenue from a business perspective is $19 a month on it's a weekly and a monthly check-in on the relationship. Just, how's it going? It's like marriage insurance. Keep paying me, stay in love. I'm profiting off of happy families and long-lasting marriages. That's the plan. It's the test. And I will say, just to go back to the pivot thing, I think an important thing when you're pivoting is know what you're testing and why you're pivoting into something. I will know exactly why this didn't work if it doesn't work. And if it works, I'll know why it worked.
So I have a question. What made you come up with this particular idea about the prenups?
So my first divorce and attorney fees alone was over $600,000. I haven't seen my daughter had 4 brain surgeries by age 2. Her doctor wasn't sure she'd live till 3. Really good news. She turns 11 next year. That's awesome. We love this story. There was a lot of rough nights and crying in the shower or whatever. But so I haven't seen her for more than 5 hours in the last 5 years. And the custody agreement says that I can see her 4 times a week. But for legal trickery, and we didn't have a prenup, and none of this was laid out, and so you end up getting stuck in the system. This is the ticket out of the system. And I think a lot of folks, there's a lot of growing concern about these types of issues, and unless there's something in place that will help keep the peace, so to speak, I think it makes marriages a tough proposition. Since we're in Vegas, my dad's a devout Mormon. I was till almost 30. My dad doesn't like Vegas too much, because there's the whoring around and the gambling and the drinking, and he has no idea how much we shop on Sundays. It's just wanton. And I said, Dad, all of that's true. All of that's true. But while the whole world is out there trying to tear families apart, we are the marriage capital of the world. And he liked that a lot. So that's where like the very pro-marriage on it. Like I'm like, no, I think it's a great institution. I'm here for it. Let's not let all of these these rough stories get in the way of people, starting families and loving each other. I know it's a wild idea, but I think it's cool.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate your honesty there. Thank you. Any other questions? That was probably one of the most entertaining presentations we had.
Okay, I have so since I asked at the beginning, okay, the first one's sort of a hello test. How many of you have seen me present now? Should be all of you.
Hey.
Okay, follow up. Who would ever like to see me present again?
Yes.
Okay. So I have increased the following. Excellent. And I love, in case no one noticed, I'm wearing a Las Vegas shirt. I'm like the most toxically pro-Las Vegas guy that you're going to find here. So economic development people, it's easier to be here if I got money and support. So, I'm easy to find. I love the community. All these people say they like me. Liz, anytime, just hit me up. Thanks, Lorraine.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, how do you follow that? Okay, we follow it with something really great.
Dave Berlin's great.
There you go.
Is Dave Berlin here?
We're actually...